The phone rang on January 2nd, 8:32 in the morning. And it's funny, for 3.5 years, every time the phone rang, I jumped. This time I saw on caller ID, it was a transplant center. And I thought, she's calling to wish me Happy New Year. She was good about that kind of stuff. And I picked up the phone and they said, John, we've got your lungs. And I said, no, wait a second. You guys have told me you had my lungs before. They said, no, we've got them. They're right here in Colorado. The plane is on the way. Get your bag. I still have my bag packed. And get up here. So I got on the plane, which was not near as nice as the first one. Looked like something out of an episode of MASH. And we crop dusted along the way. I don't know what was going on. But I got to Colorado. I talked to my family on the phone. What I thought might be the last time I would talk with my siblings and my mother. My dad had passed away in 2005 from COPD, congestive heart failure. And there I was. And they wheeled me down into the operating room, and the doctor asked me, John, do you have any questions? And I said, I've got 2 questions. Keep in mind, this is January 2nd. And I said, has anybody in here had their team do so well in their bowl game yesterday that they stayed up all night celebrating? And they all said, no. And I said, good. Did anybody's team do so lousy that you stayed up all night drowning your sorrows? And again, they said no. And I said, okay. And that was it. And that's the last thing I remember from January 2nd, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, until about 7 o'clock in the evening on January the 3rd, when I started to wake up. But I realized quickly that I couldn't really wake up because I was under the paralytic drug that they had told me about. Post-transplant, they give you a paralytic drug. In my case, the goal was to keep me under this drug for 16 hours. Eventually, they took me off after about 13 hours because I was fighting to wake up. But while I was still under the paralytic drug, and for you medical professionals in the room, there is actually a lesson to be learned from this. I drifted in and out of consciousness. I don't know if this was minutes or hours or days or what it was. But as I drifted in and out of consciousness, I kept thinking, somebody say my name. Somebody say John, somebody say Mr. Taylor, somebody say nothing, because maybe this is what dead is. What do you know? My second thought was, as long as nobody says he's too long to fit into the drawer, I'm not anymore. So then I started working on it, and I remember laying there thinking, all right, I'm gonna open my left eye in 3, 2. I'm going to open my right eye in 3, 2. And we went through eyes and pinkies, and it was like every Twilight Zone episode I ever imagined. And finally I woke up. And I could feel. How do you feel? I could feel the lungs working. Now the doctors will tell you that's not possible because they weren't inflated yet. I'm still on machines, there's still oxygen. I could feel it. I knew it. And as soon as they took the tube out of my mouth, the tube, which I would have sworn was a 55-gallon drum, but it's actually that big around. As soon as they took the tube out of my mouth, I looked around the room. I felt comfortable that I could go back to sleep, and I woke up the next morning.